Greetings Internet, DDA here, and I'm feeling a little sad today. Welcome to week 14 of my card of the week, and I'm a little sad because, it's been 3 weeks since I posted a card of the week. I needed some time off, so I took it. Rather than putting out a card of the week that maybe wasn't the best, I'd rather give these videos the time that they need rather than, put out a bad product. So this week for freestyle, I chose Isolation. Banish after use. Power. Use when entering combat. Drills and allies lose all effects until the end of combat. Allies cannot make actions, nor have damage redirect to them to combat. Now let's overlook the obvious typos with this card, and think about what this card actually does. For your offense, this card is going to have a massive effect on the outcome of the game. There are several styles in the game right now that really don't have that much board control. They have difficulty having strong answers to allies and drills, like Saiyan, Black, and Namekian. The main advantage that you get with this card is that it's a setup. You're going to be able to play it down during your turn and save it on the field into the most opportune moment to use it. This doesn't have to be the first turn or the second turn that it hits the field. Sometimes it's better to wait until later game when it's going to have more impact. When there are going to be more drills and allies on the field that it's going to shut off. This card simply shuts down blue and orange. Orange is obvious with its drill manipulation. Also, as an energy beatdown deck, you might want to play some allies in there for some extra stages. Blue is definitely the style that has the most ally support. It also has some really powerful drills as well. It doesn't matter that blue has blue fear, put the fear in blue with this card. Shut down everything. This card is used when entering combat, which means that it doesn't even take up an action in your phase. This is huge for your offense. One action, one phase, one attack could be the difference between you knocking them to zero and them having stages to perform those energy attacks in their hand. The way this is worded, it just shuts down allies. They can't have damage redirected to them, none of their powers work, and they can't perform any actions. That means no attacks from your hand, no powers, no, Goldo does not work. Gohan in general, with both Piccolo and Chi-Chi, and even more so with Gohan Orange, is just going to be able to create this wall of defense against you. By the time you break through that defenses, it may be too late. You already might have suffered too much damage to recover. Isolation gives you a free combat. It lets you go into combat and let the field only matter marginally. None of Orange's great defensive drills are going to be in effect. Other styles have great drills too that really dampen your damage. The only problem with this card offensively is it adds nothing innately to your offense. This is true for most setups. I mean, there's only a few setups in the game that are actually attacks. Most of them you're going to have to use in tandem with something else to see their offensive ability, and this card is no different. So for these reasons, I'm going to give this card a 5 out of 5 for offense. Being when entering combat means it's not going to even take up a phase in combat. You're going to be able to just enter and lay the hate on. Sometimes it might even be worth it to enter on the first turn you draw this card. And being a setup means you can save it for the right moment. Next up for defense, you're going to see almost just as much usability from this card. Set 2 brought us a lot of neat drills to play with. I would even go so far to say that Black has a kind of sort of lockdown deck that it plays with targeting drill and radiating drill. Black does a lot of damage, and if all your attacks are costing extra stages, you may not even be able to remove those drills from the field. Orange has just as much offensive ability with its drills. Having Orange R drill out for just 1 or 2 combats can add anywhere between 10 and 20 damage that you take. That means this one card could actually save you 10 damage. The new and powerful Possession Drill gives Orange a ton of utility in combat. They can draw into attacks or blocks when needed. Red has enough offensive ability in its drills to contest with Orange. Red Intimidation Drill allows you to draw extra cards in combat, as well as Red Despair Drill adds damage to all your attacks, as much as 4 life cards of damage. That's a lot of damage to be saving overall. Allies are scary, and seeing a field of allies is daunting going into combat. It could give them 2, 3, sometimes 4 extra attacks in combat. Take away 4 attacks from your opponent with Isolation. The big problem with this card, in terms of defense, is it nukes the whole field in terms of allies and drills, but setups are left wide open. And there are tons of strong setups in the game, like Saiyan Enraged, Namekian Fusion, Black Power-Up. A single Black Power-Up could just mean that your Isolation is useless. Also, your opponent is actually going to have to play these cards for this to have any use whatsoever. If they don't play drills or allies in their deck, this is a dead card. So for these reasons, I'm going to give this card a 4 out of 5 for defense. There are a lot of styles that play drills and allies, and I imagine that most decks will be playing a few of these to support them in games. Putting this card into your Black, Saiyan, or Namekian deck gives you the option to go a little bit lax on some of the other tech. For combo potential, there isn't much going on with this card. I put this card in the same category as like a sphere. It stops your opponent from using a card against you. So that's innately not gonna really open you up for a combo. However, this being when entering combat gives you a few tricks up your sleeve. If you have a when entering combat ally or drill, if you enter on your opponent, you can actually use the effect before the effects of isolation. Use Trunks ally when entering combat to see the top card of your opponent's life deck and decide whether or not you actually want to use isolation. There aren't too many drills that activate when entering combat right now. Combination drill and quickness drill are about the only two. But hey, I'm sure that they're gonna give more when entering combat effects as the game goes on. A big thing that Orange Style has right now is board control in Orange Focusing Drill. There aren't that many cards that sweep the field free of drills. This card is a freestyle card that any deck can play that gives you a strong answer to the field control that Orange has. It actually can combo off of removal cards you have in your hand. If you have, say, a Blue Betrayal or an Orange Stare Down in your hand, and your opponent has Orange Focusing Drill in play, use Isolation and target their key drill with your focused removal card. So for these reasons, I'm going to give this card a 3 out of 5 for combo potential. This card really doesn't give you any combo. You don't combo off of your opponent not doing something. Adding up the scores gives this card a total of 12 out of 15. I like this card much better than Villainous Empowerment, mainly because of 2 reasons. The big thing that makes this card better is that it's when entering combat, so it doesn't take up a phase in combat for you, as well as it being a setup means you can save it on the field for the key moment, the right moment, that last combat that's going to seal you the game and have you push out the final damage that you need. We all know how much damage you can push out in a single combat. One combat can seal you the game. So isolate your opponent and claim victory. So I hope you enjoyed week 14 of my Card of the Week segment. Next week, we're going to start back up again for our 3rd rotation. So if you have an idea of what Black Style card I should review, please comment in the comment section below. Please don't hesitate to hit that like button if you like this video. And as always, turn your dial to Random Number Gaming for weekly updates for the Dragon Ball Z card game.